Think the United States is crowded and noisy? Think again. Beneath the buzz of big cities and sprawling suburbs lies a very different America. One that's quiet, remote, and largely untouched. There are towns so isolated that reaching them requires crossing international borders, navigating narrow tunnels, or braving roads that vanish under winter snow. In these places, neighbors are miles apart and silence fills the air. Today, Global Lens takes you on a journey to the 12 most secluded towns in the US, where distance isn't a problem, it's the point. Subscribe now to discover the hidden corners of the world most people will never see. 12. Crested, Butte, Colorado. Tucked away in the rugged Colorado Rockies, Crested Butte is a picture-perfect alpine town that seems almost too beautiful to be real. Known as Colorado's last great ski town, it started as a coal mining community and has evolved into a remote winter paradise. With a population just above 1,300, it offers pristine slopes, historic charm, and some of the best powder skiing in the country. But don't let its popularity fool you. Crested Butte is remote. It's 21 miles to the next nearest town, and more than 4 hours from Denver International Airport. During heavy snowfall, even those routes become impassable. A small regional airport in Gunnison offers limited access, but winter storms can close everything down for days. Locals are used to being cut off. Snowstorms trap residents, businesses slow down, and silence settles over the town. That's exactly what many come here to find: solitude, nature, and a deep connection to the mountains. Crested Butte isn't just a ski town, it's a retreat from the rest of the world. 11. Marfa, Texas. In the middle of the West Texas desert lies Marfa, town that feels like an art installation dropped into the middle of nowhere. With fewer than 2,000 residents, Marfa has gained global fame for its modern art scene, desert landscapes, and the mysterious Marfa lights that dance across the horizon. But it's not easy to get here. Marfa is at least 500 miles from the nearest large city to the west. Driving from El Paso takes nearly 4 hours, and you won't pass much on the way. The isolation is so complete that many visitors bring their own supplies, unsure what they'll find. Still, that solitude is part of Marfa's magic. The barren landscape amplifies the surreal beauty of the art installations scattered across the desert. Nights are quiet and star-filled. Days pass slowly under the hot Texas sun. In Marfa, creativity blooms in silence, and the silence is everywhere. 10. Eureka, Nevada. Eureka calls itself the friendliest town on the loneliest road in America, and it lives up to both parts of that name. Located on Highway 50, dubbed the loneliest road, Eureka sits alone among Nevada's arid landscapes, with just over 400 residents and little contact with the outside world. The nearest neighboring town, Duckwater, is 46 miles away. The town itself looks like a preserved time capsule, with its 19th century opera house, rustic saloons, and frontier charm. While visitors do pass through on road trips, few stay long. Services are limited. Technology is minimal. The desert doesn't just surround the town, it defines it. Eureka's isolation isn't accidental. It was built by miners and sustained by a community that values independence and endurance. In a world of constant updates and online noise, Eureka offers a rare kind of peace. 9. Kalaupapa, Hawaii. On the northern coast of Molokai, carved between towering sea cliffs and the Pacific Ocean, lies Kalaupapa, a town born from isolation. Once a mandatory leper colony, Kalaupapa remains one of the most inaccessible places in the country, both geographically and by regulation. The town is home to only 122 residents, and there are no roads connecting it to the rest of the island. Visitors must hike down steep switchbacks, fly in on a tiny propeller plane, or arrive by boat when weather permits. Even then, access is limited. Only 100 visitors per day, and no one under 16 is allowed. But those who make the journey find a place of profound beauty and quiet. Beaches remain untouched. Wildlife thrives. The remnants of history, churches, homes, hospitals, sit silently, telling stories of pain and resilience. Kalaupapa isn't just remote, it's sacred. 8. Point Roberts, Washington. Point Roberts might be the strangest town on this list. Located below the 49th parallel, it's technically part of Washington state, but it's only accessible by driving through Canada or arriving by sea or air. This American exclave was created by a mapmaker's oversight, and the 100 people who live here have embraced their odd situation. Residents must cross 2 international borders just to reach the rest of their own country. There's 1 school, 1 grocery store, and no hospital. Cell coverage sometimes connects to Canadian towers. It's a town caught between two nations, yet belonging fully to neither. Life in Point Roberts moves slowly. Tourists come for whale watching and quiet beaches, but few stay. The residents, however, enjoy the privacy. In an age of hyper-connectivity, living in a place that's hard to reach feels like winning the lottery of seclusion. 7. Red River, New Mexico. High in the Sangre de Cristo Mountains, Red River began as a gold rush town and now lives on as a tiny alpine retreat. With just over 500 residents and ringed by the vast Carson National Forest, it feels like a village from another time. Santa Fe is over 2 hours away, and between them lies nothing but forest and winding roads. Winters bring deep snow, often cutting off access completely. Yet, the town thrives on tourism, drawing skiers and snowmobilers during the winter, and hikers and fishers in the summer. There are no big brands here, no traffic lights, and no rush. In Red River, days are defined by snowfall and sunsets. For many, that's the definition of peace. 6. Tucumcari, New Mexico. Along the old Route 66 sits Tucumcari, a town where the past never quite gave way to the present. With a population over 5,000, it's not tiny, but it's so isolated and so unchanged that stepping into it feels like entering a movie set. Logan, the nearest community, is 20 miles away. Surrounding the town is nothing but desert, wide skies, and silence. Tucumcari's neon signs still glow at night, and old diners and motels continue to operate much as they did in the 1950s. It's been the backdrop for countless films, especially westerns, and its antique charm is its greatest asset. In a world racing forward, Tucumcari is content to cruise at a different speed, backwards. 5. Elo, Nevada. Ely is a town of contrasts, historic but alive, quiet but proud. Located more than 200 miles from Las Vegas and 22 miles from its closest neighbor, McGill, Ely offers true seclusion in the heart of the Nevada desert. Its population of nearly 4,000 centers around tourism and the famed Nevada Northern Railway Museum. Vintage locomotives chug through the dust, offering visitors a glimpse into a world that once connected this town to the rest of the West. But now it stands alone. High desert winds sweep across the empty highways. Nights are cold and quiet, and yet the people of Ely stay, because sometimes being far from everything means you're closer to what matters. 4. Utqiaġvik, Alaska. Utqiaġvik, once known as Barrow, is the northernmost town in the United States. Located above the Arctic Circle, it's a place where the sun disappears for over 60 days in winter and doesn't set for nearly 3 months in summer. With nearly 5,000 residents, it's the largest town on this list, but its isolation is unmatched. There are no roads connecting it to the rest of Alaska. The only way in or out is by plane or by barge during a narrow summer window. Anchorage is over 700 miles away. Despite the harsh conditions, the town endures. It's home to oil field workers, scientists, and indigenous Inupiat communities. Utqiaġvik is a place of extremes, endless night, endless light, biting winds, and boundless resilience. 3. Neah Bay, Washington. Neah Bay sits on the edge of the continent, a place where land ends and ocean begins. Home to the Makah tribe, this coastal village is reachable only by a single road through the Olympic Peninsula. With a population of around 865, it's soaked in rain, mist, and history. The town's museum preserves ancient artifacts and stories of a people tied deeply to the sea. Visitors come for fishing, whale watching, and the trail to Cape Flattery, the northwesternmost point of the lower 48. But what defines Neah Bay is its rhythm. The storms, the tides. The sense that this is a place at the edge of everything, yet central to something far older than maps or borders. 2. Hulett, Wyoming. Hulett feels like it belongs to another century. With just 3 in 10 residents, it lies in the shadow of Devil's Tower and is flanked by the Black Hills National Forest. The town is a blend of rodeo culture, ranching life, and enduring independence. The nearest towns, Sundance and Moorcroft, are small themselves, reinforcing Hulett's solitude. There's one school, a few shops, and a lot of open sky. Tourists pass through on their way to Devil's Tower, but most move on quickly. Those who stay do so because they love the lifestyle, the space, the silence. In Hulett, neighbors matter more than networks, and traditions outlast trends. 1. Whittier, Alaska. Whittier is perhaps the most unusual town in America, accessible only by a 2.6-mile tunnel that opens at specific times each day. It sits along Prince William Sound, surrounded by mountains and sea. What makes it truly unique is its architecture. Nearly all 270 residents live in one building, Begich Towers. This massive structure includes homes, a school, a post office, and even a grocery store. In winter, residents rarely go outside, they simply walk the halls from one service to another. 53 miles from Anchorage, Whittier feels like a world apart. When the tunnel closes, it's completely cut off. But for the people who live there, that's not a problem. It's a way of life. These towns aren't just secluded, they're defiant. In an age where everything is connected, they've chosen distance. Where others chase convenience, they've embraced simplicity. If these hidden places captured your imagination, don't forget to subscribe to Global Lens. More forgotten corners of the world are just a click away.